And I've seen a lot of cops, I've seen a lot of lawyers pull out all the stops. I've seen a lot of children with their parents in their hands. I've felt a lot of women refuse to understand. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. You see it in the papers, you read it every day. The riots and the fires going on in South LA. The muggers and the government, they're all wanting the same thing. They take you for your money and whatever else bring. Well, I don't think I understand why we're making such a fuss. And I don't think I understand what's come of all of us. And I don't think I understand why we take this world for granted. I just want to get right back to Guitar Players Planet. Take me. Guitar Players Planet. 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 Sunny skies, the smell of palm tree air. Looking back, I could never feel fair. The way that music has touched my soul, the way that the South holds its control. But I've got a new way to choose. I'm gonna start running back to the lands of new. lost Lone Ranger. How can I break this spell?
And then we're good to go. What's up? Oh shit, we got a lot of. Yeah, we're good. We got a lot. Actually, after the 100th time of using this software, I think I'm finally getting it. So, uh, and unfortunately, Scott is now frozen. Not on vMix, but he's frozen. I think your kids are streaming again. Yeah, yeah. Ah, okay. Well, I'm just yeah. We could always change it. Okay, so how's it going? Yeah, I can hear you fine. Everyone's making fun of me. Let's see, we got a lot of people in here already. We got 12 people in here. We got Eddie, Bloodstone, AZ, Astro, Mark, Gary, Tyler, Sean's on. How's it going? Uh, Dylan, who's that's not. I saw. Yeah, they're saying they can't hear you though. So why can't they? I see. Now they can hear you. Sorry, guys. I guess I don't
Hmm.
got it. Okay. So
Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, they could hear you now. You weren't on
Yeah.
Massey.
Yeah.
Me, I'm Dylan.
Yeah.
I know you're Dylan. I was just wondering which Dylan are you? so what's going on, everybody? How's it going? We're here again on another lovely Friday night. Loving it. I'm having my second night in a row of imaging that I haven't had in a long, long time. Even though the moon's out, I just couldn't let it go. I just wanted to kind of do. I'm only doing 30-second shots anyway of the Andromeda Galaxy, so I'm just letting it roll. Just let it roll. Let's see what's happening. We already got some questions out there.
Yeah.
Gideon Sanders, he has a question, and actually, if you could just put it in the chat right now. Actually, let's see if I can look at it on my email real quick. There it is. M42 question. As M42 is coming into season again, I'm giving it my first go. When I closely looked at the star under M42, I see it's partly squared off. What is that? Well, let's take a look. Let me see if I can bring it up for you. And we could throw this out to everybody too. That's why I love doing this stuff because
Did he
um,
send you a
yeah,
picture?
he sent me a picture. I'm gonna
Ah,
pull it up. Give
good.
me 1 second. Um, and I also pulled a bunch of questions, not necessarily to us, but off of Facebook. It's just so funny that you see the same questions at the beginners forums over because there's so many people just getting into astrophotography, and a lot of people have the same questions, so it's quite interesting. Let me forward this to my other box real quick, Gideon, and I will forward this. Okay, and I'll send that to me because my Gmail didn't forward. And as that comes in, we'll take a look at the picture. But my first thoughts of squared stars is that you are undersampled, and that's
Yeah, but he was saying that the stars in part of the other frame were round. So he's got square stars in some of the frame and round stars in
I
other parts of
really
the
I
frame.
really have
That's
to look
weird.
at it to see, and maybe they're just not zoomed in enough to see the square. But I mean, we'll
Yeah,
take a
that's
look at it. We'll
possible.
see. We'll see. I'm just waiting for it to come through real
Yeah.
quick.
Sean, how's your skies looking for you? You able to image, brother?
Oh yeah, he's been doing some crazy imaging. He's got a couple of clear nights. Red Cat in 183. Let's see. Uh,
Is that the
that,
150 or the Red Cat 51?
yeah. That's,
Yeah.
oh, by the way, we just got the 71s in. We got 10 of them. So that's I'm gonna steal one of those for a couple of nights. Did I lose you again, Scott?
Yeah, I understand. It's a nice scope.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if it holds up to the um, the phenomenon of the Red Cat 51. Um, but hey, I mean, if they do, William Optics just comes out with awesome stuff. So I mean, I don't think that's going to be an issue. WO 183. I'm just looking really quick on. No, you're not. You're not undersampled by any means. It's actually pretty good. You're actually matched pretty nicely. Let's see if we can get. Why didn't this come through yet on my email? Let's see. Oh, you got a hell of an artifact there, brother. Um, that that looks to me like that really looks to me like a registration issue. Give me a second. Let me see if I can get this up because this is not coming up on my email. And I'm sorry about the dead air, guys. I'm just trying to get this to me. Um, forward.
Something a couple days ago talking about the difference between the Red Cat 71 and another scope that William Optics offers that is at the same focal length. Um,
At the
it's very
PT
similar
check.
in
Oh,
uh,
okay.
in spec, and it was significantly cheaper. And I was hoping to get some confirmation on that. I was looking at the William Optics site, but unfortunately, the stuff that is out of stock, there's no prices on it. So I can't really tell.
I just asked Gideon. I just asked you to send it to my personal email. There seems to be something not right with my AstroWorld email for some reason. Um, so send it to me over there, and I'll take it. It really looks like that this square is part of another picture to me, and it looks like it's trying to match it. I'm wondering if you had a rotation issue um, where it was trying to register the star. Just that's where the seam is of the other photo. But send that to me on my Gmail account, and we'll see. We'll take a look at it. We'll, Sean's on. I'm sure he'll be able to throw some thoughts into there. But Gary said if the other stars are round, they are probably further away and smaller. Not good for the next, Sean's had some flurries. Oh my God, that's right, Canada. Um, AZ Astro has had a month of clear skies, and it's sad every time I have to waste a clear night. Yeah, Sean, I'm getting the image. He's gonna send it to me on my other email account, so we're gonna grab that. For some reason, it's not sending to me from AstroWorld, so I apologize about that. So Gideon, just send that to me to my personal email, and we'll put that up for everybody. But let's see. Sensor reflection, clouds, yeah. So basically, I guess tonight what I thought, since it worked out so well last time, was I just grabbed a couple of Facebook questions that were
Yeah.
popping up all over the place, and there's a couple, and I was able, instead of me reading the whole thing, I could just read, I could read it, but I could also post it on the screen now. So I think that's going to be able to help a little bit. So just really quick, every show I like to start off with what we have coming up. So we have coming up, we have on the 17th, which is 5 days from today, Wednesday night, we have Scott's tongue hanging out and he's frozen.
Ah,
There he is, there he is. Um, but we'll have Warren Keller here, and he's going to be showing us some cool stuff on PixInsight. And for those of you that don't know Warren Keller, he is one of the masters of PixInsight. If you go to mastersofpixinsight.com, you could get some more information about him. But he's also the author of Inside PixInsight, and he's going to be showing us some stuff on HDR multi-scale and HDR composition with M42. So that's going to be really cool. Following that, on December 10th, we're going to have, what's his name? From Starade, Henrik from Starade. He's
yep.
going to be coming on and giving us a rundown of his new product, the Starade, which seems to be pretty cool. It's a all-in-one guider. It's a standalone guider, so it's pretty cool. Um, Eddie just asked me if his tri-peer came. I just ordered it. I told you 3 weeks, man. You're lucky it's 3 weeks and not 3 months, tough guy. Damn Pittsburgh fans. But And then after that, on the 17th, a week later, we will have Amy Astro. She'll be coming on to hang out with us. And then I think that will round out the year right now. And we'll take a couple of weeks off to hang out with the families. And then we'll be back after New Year's, I think, just so we can kind of. I think that's you're moving around then too, right, Scott?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
If all goes well, I'll probably be dark for at least a week, maybe as much as two, but at least a week.
from when
It
when does a week start?
Well, we're supposed to be leaving New York on the 17th of December, and we're going to take all weekend and get down to Florida probably by Monday.
You can't leave the
So we're supposed to
18th. You're gonna
close.
miss the Amy Astro, huh?
Yeah, that's chewing
Ah.
my guts.
Well, you know what? You could be in the chat on the phone. So there you go.
Yeah,
Don't
as
do
I'm
that.
driving.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. Not a good idea. Um,
No.
oh, hold on. I don't know why this was flagged, but um, Gary, just let me know if you want me to show that message you just sent. I don't know if you want me to show that for um, a lot of consumption. So let me know if you want that. If you don't want me to show that, I won't show it, but I'll keep that to us. But and I'll show the guys. But Amy Astro, and then we're gonna take a couple of weeks off. So it just turns out to be fortuitous scheduling where it just happens to be where Scott is driving down and will be unpacking. So
Yep.
just so it seems that we won't be on Wednesday. Our next show after the 17th will probably be the 8th of January, or maybe the 3rd of January for the beginners Q&A. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll play that more as it comes. I'm sorry. Whoa, I'm looking at the wrong month. Um, so January would be our first show would be January 5th. So after the break. So that's what that plans out to be. So let's see if Gideon sent me that picture. Yes, he did. He sent me that picture on email. Okay, so let me save it because it'll be easier for me to zoom in. So give me 1 second, and I'll download that. And one, we'll just make it one. And we'll download the other two as well. I hope you gave me a full image because this is just that zoomed in one. I'd like to see the rest of the star field if you have it, but let's see. This is image and then one more. M4. Okay, you did. Okay, good. And we'll save that. I don't want to print it. I want to save it. Save that.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm going to mispronounce his name.
Who's that?
Terrible. Gulix, Gulisix?
That's Gig. Yeah.
Gig. Yeah. Okay. Yes. To answer your question, yes, I am moving to Florida.
Yep. Taking the clouds with them from New York. Get it the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The clouds blow out over Florida a whole heck of a lot faster than they do over the great state of New York. That's for
Yes.
sure.
So I got the picture here. So this is the picture he sent me. Now this is the full picture. This is the zoomed in one. I'll show you the picture here, and you can see M42. Um, and let's see. Can I zoom in here? Yeah. Where's this? I zoom in. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And I guess what he's talking about, and I'm wondering if I'm seeing this. And no, I'm not really seeing it in other places. I know which star he's talking about, but the star he's talking about is down at the bottom of the pic, coming up right here. There it is, right there. See see the line. See the line there. Now I'm
Oh
wondering,
yeah,
you see it?
that looks like
That looks like a what?
reflection or something.
It could be a reflection. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's something on either your front element or inside your. I don't know if he's using a refractor or a SCT or a newt. I don't know
Well,
what
it's
kind of scope
definitely
he's using.
not a newt unless you remove the spikes. So, but it's definitely not a
Yeah.
nuke. But I'll show you now the bigger one. Give me 1 second. The zoomed in version. And there we go.
Mark makes a good point, that it might be an artifact of star alignment.
That's what I thought. That's what
Yeah.
I thought. I thought that maybe that there was another image there, but now that I'm looking closer at this one, I'm seeing it on this side too. So I'm seeing the bright part here, and I'm seeing another extension of the line here, right there.
Yeah.
So now it's
Yeah.
leading me to reflection again. Um,
Yeah. It does.
I lost you there,
Or
Scott.
an physical artifact the in the on the plate or on the or in one of the other elements. See if it shows up in any of your other pictures.
Yeah, visible docs. Sean actually makes a good point. What was it stacked in? And
Uh-huh.
the equipment was a Red Cat and a 183. So that was the equipment. As far as I know, it was stacked in PixInsight, but it's stacked in APP. Ooh, yeah, not we're missing the one APP user we have tonight. I do not have APP. I don't use APP. I'm a PixInsight only guy. Um,
Yeah.
I don't like to cheat on my software. So, but let's see. It looks like they didn't weed out the bad images in Blink. 1 10-second sub, and what? Well, here you go. Um, one.
Yeah.
It looks like
Yeah. It might be a
yeah.
good idea, Sean.
Well, it looks like that they're stacking. I'm sorry, Gideon. It looks like Are you doing 10-second and 30-second subs together? Because that's what I'm reading now. What Sean said. There you go. Yeah, I would have to tend to agree with the masters there. Try it in PixInsight. See what WBPP does for you,
Yeah.
and see if you get the same artifact. It could be something in an algorithm somewhere, or it could be something completely different. I think that's a good point, Sean. And if you want, who is it, Gideon? If you want to send me the the raw files. If you don't have PixInsight, I'll be happy to stack them for you and try it. Um, one stack of
Did he
60
did
by
he blink
10.
these?
It was
Did he
APP,
blink
so
all
it
these?
wasn't.
Does it show?
He did it in
Does it show
APP.
up in any of the other images?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
Starline the two
that's what
stacks.
I'm wondering. Is it just on one frame? One sub, or is it on multiple subs
Yeah,
or all of them?
it's two stacks. It looks like now we're getting more information on the actual. It looks like it's two stacks. Um,
Hmm.
one 30-second and one 10-second. And it doesn't show up in any of the individual frames. Now, does it just show in the 30-second stack or just show in the 10-second stack? Does it show in one of the stacks? Because if it doesn't, if it's in only one of the stacks, I would No, I understand it's two stacks, but does the artifact show in only the 10-second or only the 30-second or not show at all?
Yeah.
I guess because if it's not showing in the individual frames, or maybe it's just too dim to see them. Um,
Oh, he doesn't have PixInsight.
yeah, that's that was my question, Dylan. Does it show in the 10-second stack, or does it show in the 30-second stack? Or
Yeah.
actually, he's using APP Direct. This is the issue. It doesn't show at all. You know what? Um, if you could send me the raw files, I'd love to stack it in PixInsight. If you want,
Yeah.
let me know and see if you don't have PixInsight. It seems pretty odd that it doesn't show in either of the stack, but it shows up with the two of them put together. Seems pretty odd. But send me the data. Send me the data. I'll throw it together. It's only a couple of stacks. Send me your darks, your flats, your bias, your flat darks, whatever you took, and let me see. Let me take a look. I'll send you a link with a Google Drive file so you could kind of dump them in there. Just do me a favor. Email. Well, I have your email address, so I'll respond to the email. So give it a shot. Give it a shot. That's what I would do. I
Yeah.
would definitely try it in a different algorithm. Try PixInsight then over APP. Not saying APP is bad. A lot of people stack in APP, but maybe you're just having an issue with M42. So just if you want, I'll throw that Google Drive out there, and you can dump the files in there, and then we'll take a look at it. We'll make a group effort out of it. So because that's interesting. Um, Pix Insight Master Race. It's funny. Um, yeah, I agree. Dylan Bloodstone. I definitely agree on that. So I think it's something to do with the stacking process that's just not fitting right. But give it a shot. Let's see what it looks like on WBPP and see what's up. So I'll give you APP is fine. APP is good. But I just don't use it. So you know, the best solution is image it again and stack again. Yeah, well, you can do that. But if there's an issue, I guess if there's an issue, you want to know how to fix it first. So, I mean, maybe imaging it again won't fix the problem. So, it, if he does
Has
not
to
have
do with
fixed
the
insight
exposure
by,
times.
what's that?
I said, I wonder if it has anything to do with the difference in exposure times.
Well, if you're putting it together correctly, if you're using like an HDR, you got to make sure that it's put in the right sequence. It kind of looks like it is because it's only that one section that's kind of messed up. But, if you just put it together and you star align them and put them together, I don't think you should have that problem. So,
Mm.
it's just going wrong somewhere in the pro. Yeah. Hello, Beatrice. How you doing? Taking some great pics out there.
Hey,
Hey, it's a lot of good stuff. It's getting to be winter time, so I'm loving the fact that the Orion Nebula is coming up, Horsehead's coming up. We're starting to see all that. We're starting to see Andromeda Galaxy pics. Um, Pretty soon, like next thing you know, it'll be February, and everyone will be shooting Thor's helmet again. So
I have never, not one time have I had a good visual on Orion. It is behind a tree, behind my house. From my driveway, I can't see it except through trees.
yeah, yeah. Well, now you won't have to worry about that.
Thank
Unless if you have the palm trees right in the east. So, you know.
no, no. There's none of that. We got a clear shot. We're
uh,
good.
So we got Beatrice saying
Astronomy
regarding
notebook.
M42, I think there is a problem in APP. She also has artifacts in M42, but in the core, and she's used different exposure times as well. So, hey, it could be something inherent to APP. I don't know, but let's try it, and I'll send you that link to my
Mm-hmm.
Google Drive, and we'll take a look at it. Just send me all the calibration files as well. Um, and M42, M42, you got it. The last time I imaged M42 was 2005. And it turned out to be an image that I used for my wedding magnet that I gave out to people in
Nice.
2011. So I took it with a C14. It was really nice. It was a little subdued, so it was kind of nice. But I am really looking forward to getting a good image of M42 with the 127 this
Mm-hmm.
year. So I'm looking really super forward to it. And for anybody who's following my debacles with the side by side stacking, side by side stacking, well, there you go. There's a side by side. So I
Well,
have now. I'm not stacking anything. I'm just going one scope right now until I don't want to waste any more time. So I'm just going one scope. And you know what? In all fairness, I do a lot of narrow band, right? I do a lot of narrow band. I'm on Long Island. I'm in a Bortle 8, maybe Bortle 9 sky. So I'm really relegated to narrow band, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I do like the RGB stars. So I like that. So I gather that data with my one shot color, right? But you
Yeah.
don't need a lot of time to
Nope.
gather star. So you maybe need an hour or two just to
Yeah.
get the
It's
star
just
data.
color data.
Right. So if I go side by side, what am I going to do? Shoot 17 hours of the Horsehead Nebula and 17 hours of color star data? It's not going to get any better. So so
Right.
so now I'm just going to go one shot. That's it. And if I want to get the star data, I'll do it one night and I'll just pop it on top for one night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I'm imaging right now. I'm imaging the Andromeda Galaxy. This is going to be my first um, one-shot color project because I've been mono for a long time. So it's going to be interesting. So I'm just doing literally because my skies suck. They're just horrible. Um, and plus the moon's out anyway, so I don't expect to get anything great. And if I take a look and see where I'm at on my Eagle,
Are you
um,
using a light pollution filter, Dan? I would imagine.
oh yeah, I got the Batter Moon Sky Glow on the
Oh, okay.
OSC.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. That should be fine.
So I got that, but still the moon's out. It's actually doing
Oh, yeah.
a focus right now, and I am on
Yeah. We're at
oh
what, 50% moon now?
something like that. So I am on
Yeah.
image my 120th second, 120th 30-second image. So I'm on that. So I've been
Hmm.
doing that. So I've been doing it for an hour.
Nice.
Sounds about right. And so that's on top of um, whatchamacallit, the 400 images that I took last night. So if you want to see real quick, and you can see
Yeah.
my Nina, and again, it doesn't look like much, so but I'll show it to you anyway. Here is Nina right now, and that little smudge right there. That's the Andromeda Galaxy. Right, and if I zoom in a little bit,
Can you do a stretch on that? Or
that
is
is
that
stretched. I'm
stretch?
shooting
No,
at
it's not stretched.
no, it's stretched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I'm shooting at gain 0, so don't forget.
Okay.
So I'm shooting at gain 0. That's unstretched. That's stretched. So
Oh, yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
see,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yep.
So right now I got a meridian flip in 34 minutes. That's gonna be cool.
How
Uh,
fast is this scope? Is it an
7,
F9? Or at a five? Oh, F5. It's an F7.
7, yeah, 7.
Yeah.
So I again, I mean, I just I wanted the focal length to get everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
that's one of the things that the Rasa kind of does pretty well because now you're at 400, but you're at F2, and
Right.
so I would have the same field of view that you just saw, but I'd be gathering that data exponentially faster than F7. So
It's a light bucket.
yeah, yeah, it's a light bucket. So it's I don't want another 400 scope, but I want to get stuff in quicker time. So I may just get the Rasa and do it because again, Eric has said it a number of times that we don't have, especially so me, him, and you have the same problem. The skies in the cities are just not good enough to
Mm-hmm.
run slower scopes unless if you want to spend months getting the data on one object.
Right.
I mean, I spent on that Heart Nebula picture, I spent 26.2 hours of acquisition on it, but it took me 4.5 months,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
But
And most people don't have that kind of patience,
yeah, well, it,
especially in the society and the times we live today, where people have got 3,000 pictures on their phone.
exactly, exactly. And hey, what do you got? You got Beatrice, Will, Astroforum. Um, let's see, we got a whole
So
bunch of
I
questions. Go ahead.
yeah, I did, I did have,
You, your
sorry,
audio is
and
going crazy.
there is some, huh?
Your audio is going nuts.
Am I cutting out?
Yeah. Are you there?
Oh boy.
There you are. You're back.
Yeah, it's wow. I don't know. I don't know what's yeah. It's because my wife is streaming, with her group right now. We're running two streams simultaneously. That's why
Yeah.
I'm getting this crazy
Yep.
lag. Because
Good.
this doesn't happen on Wednesday.
No, no. Greg likes my purple screen on because you know what I run two instances. One of them is the green one, the other one's the purple one. So when I'm running two different scopes, I don't get confused between the two different setups. So I know that the purple setup is for my 80 Esprit, and the green setup is for my 127. So I don't make any mistakes. Um,
Well, I am. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
yep, good to hear you now.
I'm looking at if I start breaking up, Dan, stop me. If I'm looking on the William Optics site now, and I'm
Sure.
looking at the Red Cat 71,
Yep, lost you again.
and it's 350. My break up.
Yeah, you're back again.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, that's just um, the Red Cat is 17, right? And that's
17 what?
for 71, 1700,
Right,
right? It's 71 millimeter f4.9, right?
correct.
Now I think it is a quint,
Well, it's a Petsful,
right?
so
Petzl. Excuse, that's right. I'm looking at it right here. It's four element, right?
yep.
So the the
You're being
the
photobombed.
other one, oh yeah, well yeah, of course. The other one is the Gran Turismo 71.
Right, the
Now
GT,
this
right?
is a yeah, the GT 71. It is it is significantly cheaper, like by almost $800, right? It's a triplet,
It's a triplet,
right?
right?
Yeah, and it has the what is it? Okay, so it's a little slower. F5.9.
Right.
But it's
Okay.
a 419 millimeter focal length,
Right.
right? So if I guess if he's looking for an option on that Red Cat, this 71 would be a really, really good place to start.
I mean, and it comes with the flattener too.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. It's a nice looking little scope.
Yeah. Well, the GT71. I mean, I've never imaged one. Eric has always been the William Optics guy.
Yep.
So he's had one. I know two people that have. I know a few people that have the GT71. They love it. So, and for a
Yeah.
thousand bucks, you know,
Yeah. It's like $800 cheaper.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
933 for the GT 71, and the Red Cat 71 is 1700.
Yep.
So
But it's
now
also got
there may be differences between maybe the focal the is it the one has a Crayford focuser, or if they both have them,
I think they both
you
have
know.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
so
both have them.
I yeah, now there is the point that the Red Cat has it's a 4 element scope versus
Correct.
the other one, which is a 3 element scope. But I don't know if you're really going to see all that much difference.
Well, the truth will tell. I'll be honest with you. The truth will tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, it's the what you call it. So to your point, the other one, the GT71, is a slower scope. The
yep,
Red Cat has a built-in flattener. You don't need the flattener. You
yep.
know, the Red Cat actually has a helical focuser, not a Crayford. It's got a helical focuser.
Oh, it's a helical
Yeah, it's a
focuser.
helical focuser. My bad. Um, well, they both come with the built-in bat. I'm reading some of the stuff off the
Yeah,
screen. So
yep, yep.
they both come with the built-in Batinov mask. Now the image circle on the 71. Let's see.
I think it's got a little more reach.
I'm just looking to see what the image circle is, and I don't see that they put it on here. But the Red Cat is good for full frame. I'm just wondering if this is the same. Because it doesn't say in the specs what the image circle is. So that maybe that's part of it. And the focuser on the GT71 actually is a rack and pinion, not a
It's a rack
Crayford.
and pinion.
So a little cheaper on the focuser. So there's a lot of stuff to be said. You know, don't get me wrong, the GT71 is only 5 pounds and it's small and it's got great glass. So that's definitely one thing to look at.
Yep.
In lieu of a Red Cat, if you could settle with a slower scope and the use of a external flattener. I mean, that's just the
Yeah.
design. So
Because yeah, I mean, you could get a cooled camera for that $800.
yeah, yep, you get like a 183 and just pop it on there.
Yeah, yep. Spend a few more hundred and get the 294.
Bloodstone is thinking about getting more data on a horse head than Rosette. Um, let's talk FLT 91. We could talk FLT 91. I love that scope. It's like $2,000, but it's great scope, and you get bigger reach for an extra $200.
Oh, is that the FLP 91? Is
The
that the
FLT.
William Optics?
Oh yeah. That's the fluorite triplet.
The fluorite one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice looking scope.
Oh yeah, it's great scope. Um, what else we
Yeah.
got? Mark, thinking of getting more on the heart. Want to get the center with 152. Yeah, I mean, you get, what is it, Malat 15 or 51? I could get, my dyslexia maybe sending. I think it's Malat 15. Um, and like I said, the Heart Nebula that you saw behind me for weeks, that was 26 hours from Long Island in Narrowband. So, um, I love that picture. That picture came out. It's one of my best ones to date. Mark's coffee cup is empty. Okay, I want more. Doing 90 next month. We'll decide a
The
lot.
struggle's real, Mark.
Yep, good choice, Mark. Waiting to get a chroma corrector for my Quattro, and then I'm gonna try and get good 20. Yeah, it is Malat 15. Okay, Malat 15.
Yep.
Um, and then I
That's in
would 5 scopes.
uh, that is in Merlot 15 is part of the which
Malat 15
nebula
is
is
part of the
that?
heart.
The Heart Nebula. The
Yeah.
Heart Nebula. Yeah. I was just drawing a blank. I was actually imaging on that last one of the last times I was trying to, when before I actually got the rainbow, I was still using the CGXL, and that was one of the targets I was going for,
Here you
was
go.
that Marlot, because with the 14 you can get nice and tight on that Marlot 15.
So here's a picture. There you go. That's a picture that's behind me usually. And that's the Heart Nebula. That's 26.2 hours from Long Island. Not that it matters for narrowband,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
that's what I got. with that. So
Yeah, and that
that's
Marlot 15, that's
yep.
right
This
smack dab in the middle.
this cluster right here, right in there.
Yeah, beautiful.
And again,
Yeah.
when you get deeper in that, these, especially this nice cloud here and this little sliver here, that's gonna
Oh
come out
yeah.
really nice. That's gonna
Yeah.
come really nice.
It just pops.
Yeah. Thank you, Bloodstone. Appreciate it. 2000, I'll go GT71 and a model cam. I'm with you,
Yeah.
Tarek. I hear you. However, I'm interested to see how it performs as opposed to the Red Cap 51. I think it's going to be. I can't imagine the optics being bad in a William Optics image. So
Oh,
I
no
can't
way.
I can't imagine that. Um, just for some of you guys that are following my trials and tribulations on the Sharp Star mount, the Mark III, the harmonic mount.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been like getting back to me from Sharp Star. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me a second. Woo! Excuse me. Um, the So some of the issues that they said, they were able to get fixed. All of the stuff that I showed everybody with the small knobs and the wrong adapter for US for power, a couple of the other things, they are before they ship out the next, they're gonna fix all that stuff, and they thanked me quite a
That's
bit
good.
for the input. And as far as it pointing in the wrong direction, he said that this guy's name is Charlie from Sharpstar. He said um, he tested it with the settings, and he actually pictured the settings for me. Um, and a couple of things, again, for a newbie person, the number one thing I told him, I said, get the ASCOM platform out of the driver download. Get it out of there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the first thing. If it takes me 20 plus minutes on gigabit download speeds,
That's ridiculous.
that's a problem. That's number one.
Yeah.
So it's either their server or the amount of stuff that's in there. It's probably a little bit of both. That's the first thing. The second thing was the positive setting for the West has got to be changed to what everybody else in the world considers the West is negative. And the offset positive negative switch has got to be changed as well for your UTC time offset. For us in the United States, in their system, it's actually
Right.
positive hours because it's
Right.
calculating UT, so it wants to add it instead of
Yeah.
minusing it from the thing. So even though everyone else in the entire area uses negative for, like, New York, no DST, -5. With DST, it's -4. That's what it's been forever.
Yeah.
So they're looking into that as well. And if any of you do get this mount and have some issues, feel free to throw it to me or go directly to Sharpside. They've really been responsive to me. I can't imagine, and I'm nobody. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be responsive to you guys as well. So
Well, that is always a good sign of, because I mean, it's for them, it's a new mount,
yeah,
and they're trying to do it at a price point that is incredibly aggressive, you know, the and so you would expect that there are going to be some hiccups, there are going to be some problems, there are going to be some things that they're going to have to work out. If they're willing to actually fix that and try to get that mount
yeah,
to the and perform, and do it well,
yep,
kudos. I mean, that's great. Everybody makes mistakes. That's great. That they're willing to actually, talk to you and get back to you right away. That's a
yeah.
huge plus.
I mean,
That's what the guy did with me when I had questions about the rainbow. The guy that actually designed that mount sent me an email personally. From his personal account. He connected with me personally.
yeah,
That I love that.
yep. And Charlie, apparently, at least my understanding, is the head engineer over at Sharpstar.
There you go.
So So it'd be interesting to see what they change with the next renditions. Um, I'm gonna give it a second shot. I just didn't want to waste the next couple of clear nights that I had on testing another mount. So I'm gonna grab the mount again. I'm gonna take a look at it again, and I'll actually be able to do it in the store
Mm-hmm.
because it's now dark before we close. So
Mm-hmm.
I'll be able to do it in the store, so I won't have to take it home. So I don't have an answer for you. Actually, I told them about that as well, the rare file, Dylan, and they're looking at changing it to a another compressed file, either 7-zip or just a regular .zip file. WinRare. I mean, we're talking 1987 here. I mean, yeah, they don't see those little stack of books. I haven't seen that in years, but I had to go and download it all over again and get it. I'm surprised it was still there. Um, so I'm sorry, I got the sniffles today. I don't know why. Excuse me. Um, let's see what else we got in the chat stone. Chat stone. Sorry, plus the chat's here. Um, I have the SW Quattro, William Optics Z61, and the Super C8. Um, 533 is nice. It's a nice camera.
Yeah.
I for me, and again, personal preference. This has nothing to do with the camera. This is just me talking. I just don't like square sensors. I don't like it. I don't like the way it frames out. I just think it's weird.
Yeah.
I just think it's weird. I don't know. There's nothing wrong. The camera's cool. No amp glow. It's a wonderful camera. It's a wonderful chip. But it's square.
Yeah.
It ain't hip to be a square.
Okay,
so,
Huey.
so, hi, Papa Bear. How's it going? Um, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Tarek agrees. I just don't like it. It's a personal preference.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the actual performance of the camera because the camera performs very well. It's just
Yeah.
the square sensor drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I want to stretch it out, but then again, whoop, there's the image. It's all crap now. So, um,
Yeah. It's like when everybody went from the little CRTs, televisions, with the square tubes, and we went to those widescreens. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I remember when they were talking about being able to hang your TV on a wall. And everybody thought that was like wild. That's crazy. How are you ever going to do that? Now it's like commonplace. And everybody's got these huge ultra wide TVs hanging
yep,
on their walls.
yep.
We're all used to that now.
Oh man, I used to have to pull the projector out from underneath the TV.
Yeah.
And pull
Yeah.
that thing out, the red,
Yeah.
yellow, and green, or whatever, red, blue, green, whatever it was,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
had to pull them out. And if you moved a little bit to the right or a little bit to the left, the screen got black. You didn't see a damn thing. but what do you suggest for M33? 122nd, 180 or longer? Mark? I'm doing 30 seconds, Mark. I'm doing 30 seconds from Long Island because you know what? The light pollution here sucks. It's just horrible.
Yeah, too much reflection.
So I'm taking a crap ton of 30 seconds. So I have 400 already. I'll have another 6 or 800 tonight. So that's 1200. So that's 600 minutes. So that's 10 hours. So I'll have 10 hours within by tomorrow, hopefully. So
Well, I think Ellis has the same problem you have, right? He's in a Bortle 8.
who's that?
Mark Ellis. I think he's in a
I
Bortle
think
8.
he's a Bortle 8 as well.
Yeah.
He's
So
I,
he's got the same problem. I think that's probably why he's asking.
I just won't, especially now the moon's out anyway, so
Oh, yeah. Just compounds the problem.
IMAX 51, I think. Yeah, 571's a nice chip, man. That's a good chip. Let's
Yeah.
see. I'm wondering if I could do this live. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I gotta play around with something real quick. Let's see if I
You
can
know,
do
you guys could just go big and get the 2600 mono.
But yeah, you
You
could do
know,
that. It's only 2 grand.
2000. Yeah,
Yep.
I imaged actually I imaged about hmm, 2.5, almost 3 hours of M51 with
Yep.
that before I actually had to put the scope away.
Nice.
And I'll tell you, those first 5 minute subs I got with that 2600 shooting at that 27 focal length,
Yep.
M51. Both Tegan and I we were both looking at it that very night when I shot it, and we were doing a share screen, and he looked at it, he's like, "Oh my God, that is incredible." The detail that came out of that with that combination. Now, granted, I'm probably going to have to bin 2x2 in software, to deal with a little bit of the star bloat. But even that, the star bloat wasn't all that bad. It really wasn't. And the detail that was coming just from one sub, you could see the dust lanes in M51. It was blowing us away. I mean, we were just like, wow, that's incredible.
Oh well, there you go. I wish I had a green filter here.
I can't wait to try it with the new um, rainbow mount. I am just literally chomping at the bit,
Yeah.
you know? But I just can't do it. I got to wait until I get to Florida. It's just killing me.
I'm looking to see if I can get this up for you.
Mm.
I'm gonna reset this. Reset
And
this.
I mean, for Tegan, I don't know if you guys have done any really hard looks at his stuff that he's got on Astrobin. Tegan is, by any sense of the imagination, not a slouch when it comes to this hobby. That young man, he's got some beautiful photos of the heavens. He really knows what he's doing. And for him to come back at me and say that is an incredible shot, wow. I mean, like, wow.
Yeah. I'm just playing with.
I could hear him giggling on the other side of the thing. He was so excited about it.
I'm trying to play with. I'll show you. I'm trying to play with
Yeah, you're
sharp.
absolutely right, Mark.
I'm playing around with sharp cap a little bit. I'm trying to get a little bit of something, and I can't really seem to get it with this one shot color.
I'm sorry for the dead air. I'm just reading some of the comments.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, Tarek. I originally when I started looking into this really seriously, like almost 2 years ago, I figured, why not just keep this simple and just, stay with the one shot color. I really very quickly found out the benefits of a mono camera, and very quickly. Not that one shot color doesn't have its place, it does. I've got both of them. I've got both the 2600s, both the mono and the OSC. So, I'll be using both of them. But the detail that you get with that mono camera, yeah, you're shooting yourself in the foot, not shooting mono.
Yeah. This isn't working for me for some reason. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong with one shot color. It works better with, or maybe I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing around with sharp cap to kind of see if I could get. I got 115, 116 photos in here, and I'm still trying to figure out how to do this.
I got a little fuzzy here giving me the eye. What? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Huh? Come on. Come here. You want to say hi? He's shy. No, 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 he's not.
I don't know. I'm just playing around. Sorry, guys. I was just playing around. I am imaging tonight, so I do apologize if I'm boring people. Let's see. And let's get back to the images. Let's see. Um, just received a new flattener from Telescope Services. 40 and 50. Is that the flattener that I was telling you about, Mark? Is that the non-reducing flattener? Just curious. Because I love it. I think it's great. Um, hit the button under the bars in the histogram. Okay, so let's see. Hit the button. There's like a bunch of buttons on there. So let me go back in. Hit the buttons under the bar in the histogram. Yeah, I know. I've been doing those buttons and keep on getting green and
Frank says it cleared up, Dan.
yeah, it did. Sorry, Frank. I'm gonna try and hit camera concepts today so I can get his scope done. Tried to get it done on Thursday, but it was too busy.
Mark is still having problems with his PhD too.
Yeah, I was talking to him about that. He's been having issues, and it might be mount related. Um, he's gonna have to do some more testing on that.
Wait, doesn't he have like a unicorn mount? He's got a really good mount, doesn't he?
He's got the 8. He's got the EQ8 like me.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's got a good one. He's not running a cheap mount.
Yep. Oh yeah, he's in Philly. Anyway, I bought all nice gear and still buying, and I keep asking. I was lucky to get offers and discounts. And if any, I have a friend that's selling a bunch of stuff, including an EQ6R, a bunch of cameras,
Mm-hmm.
an Esprit 120. I'm sorry, an Esprit 100.
Yeah.
A couple other ones. Actually, just to give you guys a list of stuff that this person wants to sell. If anybody's interested, let me know. He just gave me a huge list of stuff. He's moving. There's nothing wrong with his stuff. Keeps great care of his stuff, and he's just moving and needs money for the move. So,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
so here's the list. I mean, it's an extensive list. An Esprit 100, a 61 Raptor, an EQ6R, a 294, a 2600 color, a 2600 mono, two
Wow.
290s, one 120, three brand new William Optics guide scopes, 31,
Really?
31 millimeter, 3 nanometer SHO chromas with filter reel,
What size?
31.
Oh,
36 millimeter LRGB SHO chromas with filter,
yeah. I've got Astrodowns.
2 EAFs, an ASIR Pro, and an ASIR Plus. He's
Jeez
sell-
Louise, he's got about 20 grand worth of stuff there.
yeah, he's selling all that stuff. So, is he trying to post bail? But um, Papa, if you want me to ask, I'll ask him right now while we're online, and I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah.
Um, EQs. Where are you located, Papa? Just let me know. Um,
Mark, can you use 31 millimeter?
Mark doesn't want chromas. He doesn't want chromas again.
It's not the chromas, it's the size.
There's still chromas. It doesn't matter if they're 50 millimeters. He's not going to want them.
Well,
Oh, that's right,
did,
Boston. That's right.
doesn't he have a? I thought Mark had a. Don't you have a set of Astrodowns, Mark?
I think he does. I think he does.
I know Tegan does. I know you do. I've got some LRGB Astrodowns.
How much Bloodstone? How much for the mono? I'll ask him also. Much
Yeah, if
for
it's in good condition, you're probably not going to get it for less than about 1,800.
and I'm just waiting for him to answer me. So if anybody wants that stuff, if he doesn't answer me tonight, um, how much for the plus? The plus? Oh, the plus, the ASI Air.
Yeah.
Everyone's asking me how much for this stuff because nobody can find this stuff. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I know, Mark. I understand that. I was hoping to
well,
get a set of 36 millimeter Astrodons, but I couldn't get my hands on them. That's why I went with the Atleas, you know?
Wade asked, why doesn't Mark want the chromas?
Yeah.
Mark had, and I'll leave it to Mark to say what his issue was, and um, if you want to comment on that, feel free, Mark. But he had some issues with the chromas, and he sent them back. So I don't think he wanted it anymore. So
Hmm.
um,
Well,
okay,
he's one of the
Bloodstone,
only people that I
I'll
know that
tweet
had
you.
issues.
Yeah, he's the only one. But you know what? You know what? In all fairness, if you get a bad taste in your mouth on a
Yeah.
product, you just don't go back. I mean, that's all it is. Um, or what? A lot of money per filter. You know, uh, you shouldn't have the issues that he had. But whatever the case may
Well, I
be.
mean, he's running full frame too. He needs those 52 millimeter, you know, chromas, and that's my God, those things are what 13, 1400 each.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
So.
I mean, you look at 45, between 4,000 4,500 for a set of, narrow bands.
What, Gideon, one of the things about me, and I don't know, people may or may not know this. I know the people that have watched for a long time know this. Astro Garage Sale TV,
Astro
but
garage sale.
but
That's freaking awesome.
AGTV, I love it. So I also work at Camera Concepts and Telescope Solutions in New York 1 day a week. I work with Jeff. I just do it so I don't get, my wife doesn't kick me out of the house because of, you know, the hobby because it can get expensive.
Yeah,
Um,
the rabbit hole is real.
yeah, so I work there and I come home with stuff, and that's it.
Yeah.
So my next new piece to the puzzle, hopefully is going to be coming soon, is the Arco,
Yeah.
which is the Prima Luce rotator, which goes with the
Yeah.
Asato. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully that'll work. Astro Pimp TV. You guys are funny. Hey, you know what? I get a lot of people that want to sell stuff, and and if I can help them get offloaded, I don't get any money for offloading any of this stuff. But you know what? If I could use this to get it to people that are actually going to use it,
Right.
then I'll do that.
Yep. More's
Um,
the better.
the threading on the filter mounts were too long and hit the back of the filter wheels for both CWO and QHY. Um, Customer service is definitely an issue. That's make or break for me. Mark Eek. Yeah, so yeah, Mark had some issues with the chromas. They were just a tad too thick, and they
Well,
just
he
wouldn't
was
fit
trying
his
to use
filter.
mounted filters.
Yeah,
Why, Mark? Why didn't you just go with the unmounted? Get a filter wheel with the
because he's
unmounted
got a
setup.
because he's got a mount threaded filter wheel.
Uh, he can't change out the setup
I'm
inside.
I'm sure he
Swap that
could,
out.
but depending on what the rest of the filters are that he has in there,
Hmm. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
true.
you're not going to
Yeah.
get 36 millimeter half mounted, half unmounted. you know,
Yeah. It's
yeah.
it's also not terribly difficult to unmount filters. As
No,
long
it's
as you're
not.
careful.
You just got to be careful.
Yeah.
But
You just got to be careful.
I'm not about to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to spend
Yeah.
$1,300 on a filter and unmount it. Not doing it.
Yeah. Just buy it that way.
Nope, not doing it. You know what? I'm the guy that like puts a mechanical drill to my filter wheel. So I mean, it's
Oh.
just, that's me. Um, but they were the they were the 50 millimeter filters.
48s. Yeah.
But hey, you know what?
50s. 50 millimeters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
I'm interested to see for the Sharp Star Mark III mount. I gotta tell you, I mean, the motion, it held the weight just fine. I put everything I had on there, about 50 pounds worth of stuff, and it moved pretty well. Um,
Now,
is
is
it?
that statement that Wade made, is that accurate? Because I didn't,
I,
if that's true, I did not know that.
well, a
The
lot
ZWO
of
wheel takes
the
both?
filters, the filter wheel for the ZWO has like a bigger and a smaller hole, so it does do both.
Huh.
It does do both.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why they sell them as 7x2 or 8x36, or
Uh-huh.
so
See?
they do a little bit differently. But that, I don't know if anybody else does that, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody
Yeah.
else does that. It's either a mounted or an unmounted. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, you can't, with the Astrodon Moag, you can't even get the sliders, or I think the filter wheel, I think they make a filter wheel. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one,
Who's
but
that?
um, yeah,
Who?
they don't even make it for mounted. It's all unmounted filters.
That I don't know offhand. I'd actually have to look that up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Um, yep, yep. Wade's good like that. He knows his stuff. UHY does both too. So the CFW line.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, unfortunately, I only have one filter wheel, and I do well. My S Big only did unmounted, 36 millimeter,
Yeah.
and the filter wheel. What am I using now? Well, the filter. I don't even know if the QHY filter wheel that I have on there now does both, because they've always been mounted in there. I never tried. I do have a set of 2-inch Optolong narrowband. No, yeah, Optolong narrowband, 7 nanometers. I have just sitting here doing nothing. So
Yeah.
I have those also. You go, Wade. Go Camera Concepts. Nice. If I could only get a commission out of this stuff, I'd be a rich person. But yeah. But let's take the next question on the Facebook stuff. Let's see what we got here.
Oh yeah.
Did we do anything on the this is which one? This is this is a focusing question, and I'll slide this on. Let's see if I could do this real quick. Can I do this? This might go right over Scott's face. We'll see. Yeah, it did. I'm covering Scott's face. And I'll zoom this in a little bit so I can kind of see it a little bit better. But it says, focusing at night, I've been setting my lens to infinity with mixed results. Is there an easy way to get stars sharp? Thanks, folks. And that
Batnoff
was
mask.
what? There you go.
Batnoff.
Batinov, the Bat Mask. Absolutely, the
I
Bat
am
Mask.
Batman.
10. Huh. Why is my dinner cold? But
Right?
the Batinov mask would be very, very
Mm-hmm.
easy to do. You buy it, you put it right over your lens or your telescope, and it's going to
Yep.
give you spikes. It's going to give
Yep.
you an X that is stationary, and then there's a
Yep.
bisector that goes up and down through the X. Now, depending if you're inside or outside of focus, that one line is going to move back
Mm-hmm.
and forth. And once you get that line and everything bisecting correctly, that looks like an X, and that other line is right down the middle,
Mm-hmm.
they're in focus.
You're there.
That's all there is to it.
Yep. You can even get a tri-Batnoff mask, that doubles as a
As a
collimation
collimator.
tool.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And they don't
And you
cost a
can
lot.
use it as a focusing tool. It
Yep.
works great as a focusing tool too.
They don't cost a lot of money. I mean,
No.
18
$50.
to $25. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry. I was defaulting to the 14. My 14 it was $50. Yeah, the smaller ones are going to be cheaper. You're right.
for a normal size telescope, not the gargantuan size that Scott has.
Not that bazooka.
Usually you're talking about $25 for it.
Yeah.
if you have a 12-inch or longer or 12-inch or larger size diameter, you need expect to pay more. But usually anything under 10 inches is like 29 bucks, something like that.
It's another
It's
nice
pretty good.
design feature with the William Optics. They come with it
Yep.
in the cap.
Yep. Well, you can pay 2,000 for a $15 item. You could do that.
Yeah, well, I know. A little cherry on the Sunday, you know.
What do we got? If I could only,
Somebody wants to say hi.
I'm telling you, Bloodstone. I'm telling you. You know what? You know what? But we don't do this for the money, man. We don't do this. We do this because we enjoy doing it, and we enjoy hanging out with all of you guys. We're now getting 30 or 40 people that just show up every single twice a week. I mean, thank you for showing up. You guys are awesome, all you and the girls.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
women don't get offended. I use guys as a mono, non-sexual thing. It's just like everybody's a guy to me. I'm from New York, but so appreciate all the love. And we got Gig calling somebody crack, but you know what? It's just that I learn stuff doing this twice a week. Scott learns stuff. I hope everyone
Oh
else
yeah.
learns stuff. And even if it's just what a bunch of jokers we are, who cares? But it's all about helping each other and trying to do the right things with everybody and trying to teach people some of the questions we may not know the answers to, but for the most part, we can come up with them together. And that's the whole thing there. So let's see. Let's see if I can get the next question up there, and I'll cover Scott's face again with it. And I don't know why it's coming up on the right side. I think that's because I kind of messed it up. So hold on a second. Let's get the next one. And I believe this one is on flats, if I remember right.
Mm.
And let's see, desktop
Calibration frames.
and flats. Yes, flats. Okay. And we'll put this up. Quick play. There we go. Number one. Right over Scott's face. He doesn't get to see anything. So let's see if I can move this down in the middle a little bit so we could actually see Scott. Give me 1 second. I'll just do.
Yeah, drop it center between the two of us.
And it's not
Maybe.
moving. It's not moving.
Yeah, that's all right. It can cover me up.
That's okay.
I'll just slide. No, I'll slide
The other way. There you go.
Here.
So, quick question on the use of flat frames. I know how to take them using a cooled OSC cam, same focus, rotation, etc. A white T-shirt and light panel or sky flats. The question is when to take them. Do I take flats after each target? So, for example, if I have a 2-target session, one target in the northwest and move to another one in the northeast, do I need to take flats immediately after each different target? The focus, camera orientation won't have changed, just the position of the scope. Or if I take one set of flats the next day and use for both sets as both the same focus and camera orientation, no filter changes, would flats be okay for both targets?
Okay. First of all, the calibration frames, for the most part, are designed to deal with issues that are that are from your front element or your corrector plate all the way back to your sensor and what's inside your sensor. Right. So it is completely independent of the target that you're shooting. It has to do with your telescope, and it has to do with the artifacts that are in your telescope, the dust motes, the smudges, the little problems that you've got that show up as a result of, us opening our scopes to the air and getting things in there, problems.
Yep.
That's primarily what the calibration frames are for. You want to eliminate that stuff. The lights are for everything from the corrector plate. And if I'm saying something, Dan will correct me. All right. If I'm saying something wrong. All right. So
I'll
from the
stop
corrector
you.
plate
Don't
or
worry.
from the front element all the way to your sensor. That's what your lights are for. Everything that is in between that.
Flats.
right? Your
Flats.
darks,
Flats.
your what I say. Correct me. Sorry, flats. The darks are for what's going on inside the sensor, the read noise, the thermal noise, all that. The bias frames are for your read noise.
Right.
And the darks are for your thermal noise, because there's a tremendous amount that's going on in those sensors. There's a lot of electrons that are spinning around through there. There's electricity. There's all kinds of things that are going on there. You want to calibrate all that out. And that's what those are for. So it's completely independent of your target.
So the answer is no.
The short answer. Yeah.
No, yeah. But Scott gives a very, very good description of how flats bias darks and flat darks for the CMOS users out there. So I mean, I think I'm probably the only CCD person left, I think. But that being said, so bias is for read noise, darks is for thermal noise, and the flats, of course, are for your vignetting and lightning issues, dust motes, and so on and so forth, some sort of darkening of your image. So the answer is no, you don't have to take them. However, if you change anything in your image train, if you unscrew the camera, if you take the filter out, if you change your flattener, if you take the flattener out, if you do anything with that image train that separates the camera from the telescope, you need new flats. And you do need new flats for every filter. You need a separate set of flats for every filter. So you need a flat for L, R, G, B, S, H, O, CLS, CCD, whatever else you got. Every filter that you have, except for the dark filter, if you have one. Some people out there have one. you don't need a flat for your dark filter, because the dark filter stops the light.
Hey.
So Astro with Eric is there. He is.
That's why a lot of people. You look at I'm just going to show it here on my shirt. This telescope right here, right, which I believe is the plane wave, right?
Well, or something similar.
Or an RC.
Something similar. It could be a CDK. It could be a Ritchie.
But they a lot of times you'll see these telescopes and that they will have a sock over the bars.
Yeah.
That's not to keep light out so much as it is to keep artifacts out.
Right. I'm just fixing this. How you doing, Eric? What's going on, man?
Good, bud.
Brother.
How was dinner?
It was good. It was good, guys.
Dinner was good.
My nephew's birthday is coming up, so we had a little dinner, and we also saw the local high school. He's a manager for the girls' varsity volleyball team, where he was, and they're downstate. They went to the state championships, so they made it to the final two. So,
nice.
Yeah, so fun stuff. Family stuff. So family stuff is always good.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch this. There we go.
Yeah.
And now we're back to 3. So it's funny. So don't worry, Tarek. I'm fixing this. Stop being so picky. Jeez, why is it 4 windows? Jeez, tough crowd.
I
yeah,
always
tough crowd.
4 windows.
Do a show in the metric system.
Yeah, exactly. I only like even numbers. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm trying to do it in primes.
Messes with his OCD. Bad.
Who's hiding in there? That's funny. So we were just doing what we did last week on the Beginner Screener. We're grabbing some questions on Facebook, and now
I think this is a great idea. Like I was telling you the last time, I think this is for Fridays. I think it's great to do a Q&A of things we may have missed or anything like. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, I love it. And you know what? I don't like. I don't like that I'm smaller than everybody else here. So I got my what is it? The who's that guy? Steve? I don't know. He's an actor. He was always short, and he had to stand on milk crates to make sure he looked tall. Steve McQueen.
Danny DeVito.
No, Steve McQueen. Believe it or not.
Oh, Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, and this has nothing to do with astrophotography. Steve McQueen was in a movie called The Magnificent Seven with
Oh,
Yul
yeah.
Brynner and
Yeah,
all
that's it.
these guys, and it's really, really great movie. And many, many scenes. He was a top biller of the movie, but he was one of the shortest people on the cast. So if he
Yeah.
was shorter than anybody, it was in his contract. He had to be taller than anybody else in the scene. So they made him stand on books and milk crates and stuff like that. That's a true story. That's a true story. But anyway,
It's funny. It's
yeah.
funny.
And I am a plethora of like useless stuff. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Bloodstone. That Yul Brenner had the same thing in The King and I. You know, why is your head above mine?
oh yeah.
Yeah,
He went all the way
your
down
head is.
too.
Yeah, everybody head below. Yeah, exactly. That's a great movie. Anyway, let's
Yeah,
not
sorry,
get.
we digress.
We're gonna
Let me-
see our numbers go right into the toilet if we keep talking
Let's
movies.
not- hey, I just got here. Let's not have the numbers go into the tank so soon. Okay?
Yeah, I'm just fixing some formatting here, and for some reason it didn't save last week. So there we go. All right. So let's get to the next one, and let me see if I can grab it real quick. Give me 1 second, and we'll change this for the next question.
A great line.
And let's see, what is the next question? Yeah, focusing, flat, phase of the moon question. Let's see, phases of the moon.
Nice. Okay. Sure. Yeah.
And we'll put that on there, and we'll put that on there, and we'll put it on number 1. And
Full moon imaging.
there you go. It doesn't block
great.
anybody now. Okay, so Brandon Kip McFarland from, I believe this is not Pix Insight, Astrophotography for Beginners. Question for the group: how much does the phase of the moon play into your decision to shoot? If it is a calm, clear night, will you always go out regardless if the moon is full?
Yes.
Depends on what you're shooting.
We got yes and we got and I said nothing. So
yeah. Okay. It depends on what you're shooting. If you are shooting narrowband, especially these two, if you're using a one-shot color camera, a lot of the newer filters, those dual band filters, say like the L Extreme, the NBZ, Triad, you can actually go for those during a full moon and you will be fine. But if you're doing a straight oxygen narrowband shot, I would stay away from the moon. Same thing with LRGB. Stay away from the moon. Wait until you get closer to the new moon phase, or and enough, something like that. Even if the moon is further away from your target, say, because because the way the moon travels, it's going to travel to the south. Even though if you have a northern target, still you've got the moon glow to deal with.
Yeah.
So it lights up the atmosphere.
Yes, it lights up the atmosphere. So I would stay away.
Agreed.
When it comes to broadband targets. But if you're doing narrowband and you're doing the filters like I mentioned, you shouldn't have a problem. At least
and check the position of the moon as well. I mean, you could have a full moon, but it might set early.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true. So you really need to take a look. There are there's apps out there. I mean, even if you use Sky Safari and you're looking,
great app,
Sky Safari, and follow how the moon is traveling, and then you take a look at your target compared to the moon and where it is, and if the moon is even full, but it's actually setting, and it's getting lower, and your target is say getting up there towards its zenith or anything like that, then I think you may be okay.
Here's a good. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
Wade. Yeah, I'm just reading what Wade said. He said, I'm using the Radian Triad Ultra right now, pretty close to the moon, and my subs look really good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go.
And
The
again,
triad, I have the quad band filter, that Radiant Triad. It's an awesome filter. It's
yeah,
expensive as all get out, but it's an awesome filter.
yeah, man. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, right now, don't do what I'm doing right now. So I'm like the king of doing things wrong. So I'm shooting one shot color right now on
Mm-hmm.
M31 with
Yeah,
about a
50% moon.
50% moon. So,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
so, you know, I just didn't want to forego another night because my
Yeah,
nights, like I said, probably like 5 times
Yeah.
tonight, that my nights are just as bad as yours, Eric. And
Yeah.
Scott's gonna have nicer nights
yeah.
than
I'm
we are
living
very soon.
vicariously through you guys right now.
So,
Right
I mean,
now, you guys get ready. Get ready, Dan, because the snow, it's a coming.
I'm okay with that because whenever a snowstorm comes, the next like 2 or 3 nights are
It's clear.
completely awesome.
Yeah, it's true.
So let's keep an
Yep.
eye on it.
Yeah, that's the snow. I think it's because the crystallization in the atmosphere. It takes all that dust and any of the particulates in there. It drops it all to the earth.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Listen, man, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yep.
thought I saw a question from Papa Bear, um, and this is an interesting concept, but my first is no, but okay, can you use the UVIR in conjunction with narrowband?
Hmm.
I
Mm,
would not.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't.
I would not. And here's my reason why, and you guys tell me if I mean I do a lot of narrowband. Eric, you've had your share. Um, Scott, uh,
Yeah.
I,
A
you
little
have
bit.
them. You played around with it a little bit.
Yep.
When you're shooting narrowband, just like Eric alluded to a couple of minutes ago, you're literally taking an image of a really slim really slim part of the spectrum, and
Yes.
Yeah.
you are really down to the nanometer, and
Mm-hmm.
everything else gets kicked out.
It gets kicked out. And
It
that's
gets
why they
kicked out.
call it and that's why they call it narrowband versus broadband.
Correct.
You're narrowing that band of light that you're capturing versus a much broader band
Yeah.
of light
Yep.
across that spectrum,
Yeah.
across the visual spectrum. So yeah. So no, I would not mix those. A UV IR cut is intended for you doing luminance for LRGB, stuff like that. And it's when you're doing it, like I said earlier, when you're getting close to that new moon phase or just past the new moon phase. Or to Scott's point, if the moon is already setting and your target's
Mm-hmm.
out there,
Yep.
stuff like that. So when there's no moon involved or very, very little.
Yeah. Mark
Very
just
Yeah.
echoed what you were saying about using it for illuminance as well. So,
yes.
so that's the whole thing. It's just the sole fact that when you're shooting narrowband, you're shooting SHO, and you're literally shooting a really narrow band part of the
Yep.
spectrum. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Just remember that you are literally just taking a picture of that emission of that chemical composition
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to anything else. So you don't have to worry.
Yep.
That's why people like me and people like Eric that live in these light polluted areas
hmm
depend on narrowband because LRGB, don't get me wrong, you could do LRGB in Bortle 8, Bortle 9. You can do it. May have to take shorter exposures, may have to do some other. Yeah, so you may have to adjust certain things, but you can do it, no problem. And I'm doing it right now, even with the moon. So we'll see how it comes out tomorrow. But that being said, narrowband, like right now, if I wanted to, I could start shooting any of the Sharpless catalog right now, even with the half full moon. It's not a big
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
But let's see. Um,
I always vision it. Like the limiting the light. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's ever used like a pinhole camera to view a solar eclipse. Where you're
Solar
using
eclipse?
a reflection off of
yep.
like the
Oh
back of
yeah,
a piece of
like
cardboard.
long time
That
ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that principle is very similar. You're instead of it, it's not narrowing the light band pass, but it's narrowing and focusing the intensity of the light,
Right.
so you don't burn out your retinas. You don't want to do that. So,
Yep.
but it's a similar kind of deal with the narrowband stuff. You know, you're just narrowing the pass, the band pass, like what the what my boys have been talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But and
price point,
the
nanometer.
the SHO
Yep.
the SHO is not the only narrowband stuff out there. There are other narrowband filters that you can get. You know, those just happen to be the three most popular.
Yep.
Yeah, because you got H beta,
Yep.
which is
Yeah.
more on the green blue,
Right.
band pass. You have N2, nitrogen 2, so there's others out there, But but the more popular ones are your SHO because they were made famous because of,
Hubble.
telescope, and when
Yeah.
we did, when it did, M16, that is what got it out there, so yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't
That
know.
classic shot of the Pillars of Creation from Hubble.
Oh,
man.
Exactly.
It's incredible.
That is one of the shots that so many people tried to emulate of Hubble when they're going after when they shoot the eagle. They're trying to see how
Pillars of
close can I
Creation.
get. How close can I get to doing to my pillars compared to what they did with the Hubble.
Yep.
And
Same thing goes with Marlot. Marlot
I've
15,
actually
same kind
Marlot
of thing.
15 over in the Rosette. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Let's see if I could set up one more.
No, these are great.
Wade says if you're shooting narrowband with fast optics, the angle of the light takes a longer path through the filter, and the filter shifts its center wavelength.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why you need to buy certain
Specialized
types of
filters.
Specialized filters like say like your Beta high speed filters, your astronomic, max FR filters, the ones that can take that into account.
Coatings.
Coating.
All right, so here's I got 3 left. This one actually came up last week, and we'll just talk about it really quick again because it just showed up again, and it continuously shows up. And I'll put it up there right now, right under. There we go. Just a quick question. This image is an SHO image from, what does that say? I can't see.
Channel combination.
From channel combination. What's the quickest and most simple way to lose the magenta cast?
Invert. Well, there's 2 ways.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways. The first way, if you're
We've covered this.
Yep.
Yeah, we covered this last week. So there's 2 ways. One way, especially if you're dealing with stars, is that there's a script that you can use that's called, I believe it's called Clear Magenta Stars or something like that. That you can do, and it does this, and it does what the next thing I'm telling you should do. You can actually invert if you can invert your image.
Yep.
And do an SCNR, and then you do an SCNR. And
you do a star mask.
You do an you can do a star mask, and then you invert the image, and you do the SCNR of the green, which is basically the opposite.
The flip
of
the blue, of the purple. Yeah, the magenta. Yep.
It's the opposite on the color circle. So you do that, and then you invert back.
That's gone.
Good.
And it turns your purple. Well, it turns your purple green, and you get rid of the green. Now you got nothing.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
the easiest way.
It's one of the easiest fixes.
Yeah, that was one of the first tips and tricks that I learned from Ron when I was taking lessons from Ron. He's like, "Oh, you don't like that? Oh, okay, let's get rid of it. Let me show you a little trick." And he showed, boop, 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 done. I would have probably spent like 7 hours trying to figure that out, and he really threw it out there. So so that's
my wife would have figured that one out in a minute. She said, "Yeah, you need to mask that, and invert it and flip the colors." That's just my wife, the artist. She'd have figured that out just like that.
Yeah, that was an easy one. Okay, so So here's kind of a fun one. And
Mm.
if I can find the picture while you guys talk about it, maybe I can find it.
Hey Wade, the IDOS NBZ, I have that for my Rasa 8, and I absolutely love it. I love that filter because a lot of the other filters that I have, they're 12 nanometer filters. I have Optilong and I also have Astronomic, but they're 12 nanometer. And
Yeah.
if I'm doing anything with dealing with oxygen or doing a long exposure, if I'm doing a long exposure, say with a Rasa, say 5 minutes,
Yep.
I get a halo effect. Okay, it's not that I get a halo even with my H alpha. I'll use that 12 nanometer. I'll get a halo effect, and then you'll start being able to see the cable, my cables on my from my Rasa,
Yeah.
and but
On the Hyperstar, right?
yeah, same thing with the Hyperstar, and with the NBZ, I believe it's like a 7 or a 6 nanometer, something in that range. I think it's like 7 or 6 or 7 nanometer, and it's such a tighter bandpass that I don't have
Yeah.
that problem at all.
Nice.
Yeah, the Radiant Triad is the Triad is similar. I think that it's a quad band filter, so it has four the four different elements, but three of them I think are at 4 nanometer, and there's one that is at 5.
Okay,
so it also performs well in those fast scopes.
Oh yeah, and that's what if it wasn't so expensive, I would have grabbed.
Yeah, they are not cheap.
They are not cheap, and especially with me when I buy all my filters, majority of all my filters are 2-inch, and so 2-inch filters are usually sometimes double what a 1.25.
That's the one I have, Eric. I've got the 2-inch Triad for the it was $1,100.
Exactly. So
I'm actually looking for a picture real quick before I put.
But it's a great filter. I can't wait to try it. On that Hyperstar. It's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
And I think Orion is probably going to be one of my very first go-tos with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've done the Horsehead with the NBZ.
Mm-hmm.
I think I posted it, because I did it last week, and I think I posted it. And
it's a beautiful shot.
It was just pinpoint.
Yeah.
It was no knowing nothing. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. There was another question here I wanted to see. Thought there was another one.
Yeah, Mark, there's probably somebody out there that has one that isn't using it, that you can probably find one, for for probably 2/3 of what it costs retail,
Yeah.
But
I'm not
Tarek you mentioned earlier. Let's talk about planetary imaging. Tarek, you're the man. You were one of the guys that I think knows planetary much better than
us.
me.
You need to come on the show and talk about planetary imaging, Tarek.
Planetary, because you have more skills with that, I think, than we do.
Does he use that dispersion filter?
The ADC? I don't know. Yeah, I've got mine right here. I have actually learned how to use it. Because I use it with fire capture, and actually, and there is a little ADC tool to help you with the shifting, to help you correct the shift, and use the prism.
There's one in SharpCap too.
Oh, they did put it in SharpCap.
Yeah, they put it in. Yep.
Nice. Okay.
So, he says he has the ADC, and he says no to the guest spot on the show.
Okay.
Come on. All right. Here's the next question.
Go for it.
Question for the group. I'm going on a cruise to the Western Caribbean in January and wondered if anyone has ever attempted to take any astro photos while on a cruise. The ship has a forward observation deck that is dark, right below the bridge that people go to at night. Stop nodding your head. I'm reading. Will the ship be stable enough to use my 24 mm
No,
lens to grab photos?
no way.
Or
No way. No way.
Sorry.
Using a tripod on a boat is completely useless.
Yeah,
I think he's talking from experience. The way he's saying this, I think he's talking from experience. Have you had to go? Have you actually?
No,
done
I
this?
have. I've had.
I
This
have
question
done
come up
this.
several times.
I have done this as well. And let me tell you something. I thought the same thing. Oh man, we're gonna be in the middle of the ocean. It's gonna be dark. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah. Well, try getting the ship of a multi-million with thousands of people on board to turn off the lights on a deck.
Yeah, good luck.
You are literally on a floating city. You are on a floating Bortle 8 sky right there. I mean, it's that bad. And I actually tried to take some pictures. And the funny thing is, I was trying to find it. Maybe I'll find it. It's in my honeymoon pictures somewhere. But I actually got a star. But when I got the picture, it was like,
Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
because the ship's moving and it's wiggling and whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
so
I don't
you
care
know,
how calm the seas are. I don't care how well that ship is anchored. There's no way in hell that it's going to be at the same stable condition as the Earth.
no.
No way. Yeah, no.
No.
Don't even bother putting a tripod. I've had this issue with people that have been trying to take long exposure shots from a boat. I'm like, you're trying to use a tripod on a floating platform. It's not going to work. It's
Yeah.
not going to work. You look like an idiot. Don't do that.
Yeah, doing doing some basic terrestrial photography, like for your vacation and holiday and stuff like that. Yeah, that's great. But AP, no.
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 If
Sorry.
you're saying
Now,
that,
what
like,
you can do, well, here's what you can do: take your portable rig with you, and when the ship docks in port, go out onto the beach. Find a nice concrete platform and photograph while you're in port.
Yeah, if they have a nighttime if they
Yeah.
dock in at night, then yeah, sure.
I'll show you.
A lot
I'll
of
show
those
you really
islands
quick.
are Bortle 5 or lower. I've been on
Yeah.
quite a few of those islands down in the Caribbean. Most of them
Yeah.
are Bortle 5. There are some that are more than that, but a lot of them you can get Bortle 5, Bortle 4. You go into some of the darker sites. You take an hour ride in a car, you can get into Bortle 2 on some of those islands.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I remember seeing a video with Damian Peach where he actually took his C-14 and his entire rig and everything, and actually, I think did he say he went to Barbados or somewhere?
He took a
actually
C-14 to Barbados.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god!
think he was a C-14 or something. There was a video, and
Holy
he
cow.
actually did planetary. And I think it was it was Bortle 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So, but yeah, he was actually on land.
There you go.
Yep.
So I'll show you this real quick. So this was my honeymoon. Like every morning, I was up at the crack of dawn, and at sunset, I was always at my balcony, and I would
yeah.
sit there, and I would take pictures, and I would constantly take pictures. I'm going the wrong way. And if you take a look, I mean, I don't know if you know what I'm trying to get here, but I've been attempting for every time I went on a vacation. There is a phenomenon, and I never caught it, so this is pretty anticlimactic. There's a phenomenon called green flash.
Yep.
And sorry, Eric, I lost you for a second. Go ahead.
No, I said I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah, so the refraction of the light at sunset, if you could see it go under the horizon, after, you got to be in the right place at the right time, and it literally only lasts like a second. It's like a second. So that's why you see all these pictures going, and as it's going down. Now, what happens is the light refracts here, and it has like a green halo above the sun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Okay.
as it gets lower and lower, and I did this for 6 straight nights, and as you can tell, there's no green flash, and it's not there. But if you take a look, and I'll show you what green flash looks like. Images, and there we go. So
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what green flash looks like, and that's what I tried to get a couple of times, and it's almost impossible. You know, my friend who actually married us, Bill Bogardus, um, was trying to get a picture of green flash for about 30 years, and he finally got it right before he passed. And you know, he was searching for this thing, but it's really, really, really a cool phenomenon with the green flash. And sooner or later, I'll get it. It's just like a really cool thing with the reflection
Sure.
or refraction. I'm sorry, of the light. So I attempted to get that, and that never worked out for me. I did it like for like 6 or 7 nights, and that never worked out. But
Oh,
one day,
one day. You never know. Yeah, one day.
it's kind of like these things that kind of go away, and you never you know,
Yeah.
you never see
Yeah.
them again. But
Because
anyway,
have you ever seen what is it, Pirates of the Caribbean?
sure.
I think there was one of them where I think it was Dead Man's Curse, or the one with Davy Jones, where
Yeah, David. Yeah.
where Davy Jones he gets killed off, and Orlando Bloom becomes the next captain
Yep.
of the ship,
I
and
remember.
there's whole thing where he only can come on shore for every 10 years,
Yep.
and so he's with his wife, and then he leaves off, and I think there's like a green flash that when he disappears,
Yeah.
as it's set, because the sun is setting, there's that green flash, and the Jolly Roger disappears.
Yeah, the
So
Jolly Roger. That's right. That's right. Yeah, I remember that. All right. So we're heading up to the last question of the evening. And this is another question that's going to last a little while of discussion, but here we go. Um, I have a few questions. Let's say I have a $1,000 budget. I have plenty of photography equipment, so a crop sensor, Canon DSLR is already waiting in the wings. I have that's Macs, MACS, Macs and PCs for personal and professional use. I wanted to buy a go-to scope for astrophotography. What would you suggest? What software do you prefer for controlling the scope and camera? I'd like to be able to photograph moon, planets, as well as deep space. I live deep in the country in southeast Ohio, so light pollution isn't an issue. Weight, space, and setup are not a concern for time.
And he
okay, so let
wants
me
to
be
do
clear.
this for $1,000.
$1,000.
A
1,000.
Ooh,
thousand.
that's going to be tough.
Is it?
Uh,
To do planetary, deep sky,
Oh, planetary. I honestly wouldn't. You're not going to get it for 1,000. But
no way.
but deep sky, if he's got the camera already, $1,000
well,
is definitely feasible.
it's
Um,
feasible.
yeah,
It's feasible.
it's going to be wide field. Um,
Hmm.
unless you have a nice. I know he said he had photography equipment. So if he's a professional photographer, I'm sure he's got a 600 millimeter or something crazy lens that he could use.
Yeah.
But you're gonna need, like, I'll tell you, just grab like an EQM 35 or a Star Adventurer package or an Ioptron Sky Guider Pro or something to that effect, just to use a
You're not
DSLR.
going to you're not going to put a 600 millimeter on an ioptron. No way.
No, but you
I
can
mean
put
a
it on
sky
the
guider.
EQM. You can put it on the EQM 35. That's a 22 pound payload.
22 pounds.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
Looking for
This was
if he's looking for a scope and a mount. Hmm.
that's
Well,
difficult.
no,
Not
I don't think he's looking for a scope and a mount. I think he said, I just
see this.
want to image. Well, no, he did say a scope. I'm sorry. If I wanted to go buy a scope for astrophotography, so you're not going to get both. I don't think for $1,000.
No way.
No, you won't be. No, no.
You'll
It's
be
gonna.
shooting out one of those dope doublet discount from Explore
You
Scientific.
don't want to do that. If you're a
You know,
professional photographer, you will not like your product. You will not like what you get from a scope like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just won't get
Uh,
a triplet. Get a William Optics, get a triplet, get a Skywatcher. You know,
I
Yeah, I
would tell
mean,
you
if
just stick with your camera and your lens,
yeah,
and
yeah, if you got good lenses, sure.
yeah, put it on the iOptron, or if you need
Hmm.
something for heavier for the mount, like Scott said before, get the EQM35, or
Great mount.
that's and pushing the limit is the AVX because that's 999 right now.
Yep.
So
now
Yeah,
he
it
did
really
mention
depends on
he
the
did
kind.
mention he wanted to do
Excuse me, the kind of
right.
lenses that he's got.
I'm sorry, you guys are talking over each other. I apologize. I didn't get all that.
Oh, I'm sorry, Eric. I didn't
So
mean to
I
step on
heard
you.
lenses you got from Scott, and I didn't hear Eric.
No, he was saying he wanted to do both planetary and deep sky.
He said he wanted to do everything. Yeah.
Want to do everything.
Not for $1,000.
Okay, not worth not for $1,000, but there's certain things
Used, maybe.
you could think about. You could think about like maybe a Nexstar 6 SE.
Okay.
You could. You can do deep sky. You have to depend also on your camera.
Yep.
So if you have a DSLR, you could mount it. And that you could mount it with a T adapter with a T ring and everything, and you could do planetary if you can do video, and so you can
Hmm.
do planetary. And at the same time, now the quality may not be great, but you could also do deep sky. Now you would if you get the six SC and you just doing the base alt as, then you have to do short exposure.
Yeah.
You have to take into consideration the curvature of the Earth, and you don't want to do star trailing, so you're going to have to limit it. Your shots have to be limited to probably less than 30 seconds, maybe about 20
Well, I
seconds.
was I was gonna say
20,
10.
yeah, maybe 10. But
Yeah.
something along those lines, if you really wanted to do something like that. I have, and with the 8SE, which the 8SE is one of the more popular visual and starter Schmidt Cassegrain is probably one of the most popular one. Is the 8 inch. You can definitely do planetary. You can definitely do planetary. But like I said, and you can do deep sky. Your images may not be the greatest, but that is an option if you want to do all of that. Is to consider looking at a Schmidt Cassegrain. You could even look at a Dob. There are certain Dobs you can hook it up to a Dob, and
Yeah.
you can do planetary and you can do deep sky. But you have to do short exposures.
Yeah.
So that 10 20 second. So you can consider that. But if you're thinking about a go-to, maybe think about, like I said, that 6SE or an 8SE, something like that. And then using your DSLR cameras and your kit that you already have, and you can go that route. That would be that's a suggestion.
Yeah. I mean, for under $1,000, I mean, I think that's a pretty good. I totally forgot about the SC line. That's something that you could get a little bit of the best of both worlds. I mean, I think it's 899, I think, or
I think for the
799 or
six,
899.
yeah, for the 6 is something like that.
Yeah, because the 8 is 1199. So that's
Yes.
just a little bit over. If you can push the budget to get the 8, I would tell you to get
Yeah.
the 8.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You'll see a huge difference.
Because I'm looking here, even on Amazon, the 6SE is $879.
Yeah, but that's not normal price. I think it's 899. I think if I remember right.
Yeah, and that's for the 6. I mean, and for the 8, you're a little over 1,000.
Yeah, it's 1199 for the 8.
Yeah, so that is something to consider if you're just getting started. because you can do deep sky and a lot of those other things with it.
And just got a message for those of you that were asking.
Mark just made a great point. Also consider looking at used equipment.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's
Look
what I
for
said.
Yep.
look for that used equipment. The Evolution, which is as the Evolution. Is that an Edge type? The Evolution.
Well, the Evolution, it can come with an Edge if you want to. You got to pay a lot of extra money for it, but usually the Evolution is the one with the built-in Wi-Fi, the built-in
Okay.
rechargeable battery.
Okay.
So there's a couple of bells and whistles to that. It's usually just a regular tube.
That's right.
They do sell an Edge version.
Okay.
So
So yeah.
Yeah.
So I would definitely get on at cloudy nights. Start doing some research, looking for used equipment. But if you're gonna want to buy something new, start out looking at a Schmidt Cassegrain, but you're gonna look at a smaller one.
Yeah, not for nothing, guys, but Quiv, his latest video is talking about this very subject.
He was. Yeah.
He's talking about the best small refractor is an SCT
yeah,
Hyperstar
I saw that.
C6 version 4 first lights.
Yes.
Yes, I saw that.
And that little scope, man, let me tell you something. I don't know how well you guys can see that.
That's a small scope, but he's using a 533 one-shot color with a Hyperstar version 4 that he got from that Arizona sent him, and he's using a Orion 50 millimeter mini guide scope. He's actually he was using the Celestron autofocuser. But you can use the ZWO EAF. You can get the mounting for it, and then you can use the ASI Air Pro to manage everything for you. But it is something to it is possible. It is very possible to do this stuff. You just have to get a little creative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say that if this guy is looking to get into it, a lot of times people they start off low, but they actually are willing to throw more money at it the more they realize they can get it done. If you're gonna take it seriously, don't skimp on the mount. The optics are something you can definitely deal with later on. If you get yourself a reasonably good mount to start with, your base is locked in, and independent of whatever optics you decide to go with, as long as you don't go over the weight capacity of it, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Agreed.
Very good.
Agreed.
All right. Let's see. It's almost done.
Dude, I'm serious, man. This is something we should do like every Friday. Is just hunt down.
Oh, I think that's a nice way to kind of do things. So that's what we've been doing. So. Okay, so here we go. I got another question just on email from Gary Hart on Long Island, and I just erased it. Hold on a second. Can you give your opinion on these cameras? I'm comparing the 6200
full frame,
to an Spigaluma CCD 814, and I don't know what this is. And an FLI Microline 674 mono CCD.
All of them, they're money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking big money here.
Big money.
So you're
4,
talking,
000,
what is it, 4280?
I
think for the 6200, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or 3999. I'm sorry, 3999 for the 6200. The FLI camera is over $5,000, and the Illuma is 4,200.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, there's something to be said between. I'm the CCD guy, so that's what I am. I like my CCDs, although there are a couple of things that CMOS has over the CCD, which is including hell of a lot faster download times.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest benefit to me is the download times. It takes me 26 seconds to download the image on my APS-H chip
Hmm.
per image. Okay.
And yeah, and the 6200 is one of those newer CMOS cameras that you don't have the amp glow that you may have with those others, with those CCD cameras. Because those
Yep.
CCD cameras, you will have some level of amp glow.
Yep.
So that's another thing.
Yeah, but
Um,
I think that's a
but
moot
amp
point,
glow is
Eric. I'm
not.
sorry. People, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Calibration
Go ahead.
frames.
No, I was just
Yeah, you,
saying we've been dealing
that
with
out.
AmpGlow for 50 years,
Yeah, yeah,
and we've been taking dark frames to get rid of it, and you still got to have to take dark frames anyway
Anyway,
to
right.
get rid
yeah.
of your thermal noise. So you're gonna have to do that anyway. But
Yeah.
AmpGlow to me the biggest thing, and I gotta agree with what Mark just said. Toss up between the
Hmm.
6200 and the FLI, and for being an S big prior owner myself, the biggest thing is software to me.
Hmm.
The S big does not have ASCOM drivers.
Mm.
Although I do believe with the Illuma, they may have come out with it finally. I could be wrong. I thought I read something before, but I'm pretty sure you still have to use the S Big driver kit
Is
for
that the
the S.
FLI?
No, the S Big camera, the Illuma.
Oh, the Illuma.
Um, I'm pretty sure there is no ASCOM for that. I could be wrong. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty sure I'm not. But FLI and ZWO both have ASCOM drivers for them. That's more acceptable for stuff like Nina. Um,
Yep.
Nina, I could not use with my S Big camera because
Didn't
there's
support
no
it.
ASCOM drivers. It's not supported.
Yep.
So that would be the biggest thing for me. Um, Now, as far, I'd have to do a little bit more research into the pixel sizes and arrays and that kind of stuff to see the toss up on the FLI and the 6200. But
Okay.
one CCD, one CMOS. Um,
I
I don't
think the
know.
pixel size on the 6200 is the same as the 2600, isn't it?
Let's
I
see
think it's
here.
3.74. I
So
think. Mark, correct me if I'm wrong. He's got the
Uh,
6200.
let's see this.
3.76 on the 6200.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the same as the 2600. 2600 is 3.74
Okay, and let's see
or 3
the.
point no 3.76. I think.
I see three.
I'm doing this from
3.76.
memory.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's the same
3.76.
pixel size. It's just a bigger
So,
sensor. Same pixel size.
yep, it's just you going from an APC to a full frame.
Yeah, Mark just confirmed it. Yep. Yeah.
So the FLI is a 16-bit monochrome camera,
Mm.
4.5 micron pixel size, running on
So
a
it's a
Sony
little bigger.
ICX 674, 1940 by 1460 with a peak quantum efficiency of 71%.
Yeah.
That's awesome for CCD. That
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it doesn't compare to your CMOS cameras
91.
running over 90. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean the 6200 quantum efficiency is 80.
91.
I see 80
That's the
here.
2600. I think the 2600 is at 91. The mono.
Yeah,
The 62. Okay, the 62 color is 91.
I'm
But I'm
looking at
here
the
on the web.
mono is 80 according to High Point.
Okay.
For the 62 or the 26?
The
6200.
6200 MC, the color was 91. And the mono, because I'm on the ZWO site, and the mono is 91 as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
well then,
Great quantum efficiency.
yeah, but High Point is showing it at 80. So I'm wondering where.
It's still
I'm
really
wondering.
good.
I'm wondering where you said it doesn't really matter. I mean, 20% loss, I really don't care. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, um, at that point, I got to be honest with you, and I hate to say it, I'd probably go with the 6200. I'd probably go with the 6200.
Yeah.
And rumor has it that they're
And
coming
it's
out with a medium format.
yeah, well,
They are.
that's going to be
They
like
are.
$25,000. It's
Stupid.
going to be crazy. But
It's crazy.
the biggest thing about the pixel array on this, and I'm looking for the size of the chip to be honest with you, for the FLI camera. It just gives me the pixel array. It's a okay. So this is an 11 millimeter diagonal. What's the
On the
6200?
FLI,
Yeah,
that's small.
that is small. That's what I'm saying. Um,
The 6200 is going to be like 37 millimeter on the diagonal.
Sounds right. Let's take a look
It's a
on the
full frame.
ZWO site.
36 by 24 millimeter.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
X squared by
That explains a lot because the pixel array on the 6200 is what 9500 by 6300, and the
It is.
FLI is only 1100. I'm sorry, 1940 by 1460. So at that point,
Yeah.
I would definitely go as long as it matches well with the scope. I would say that the 6200 would be the way to go. To be honest with you, that's what I
Yeah.
would do. That's just me.
Yeah, it really does depend on the scope. You know, like for my 14, the 2600, I'm a little bit into the I'm a little bit into the purple range, you know, on that scale. I'm not quite at that height, so I have to bend in software 2x2 to mitigate any star bloat. But honestly, I haven't seen a whole heck of a lot. I'm sure that the star bloat's there. I just, you know, it'll probably show up more as I get registered stacked photos. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it's, you know, you can fix that problem right in software.
Yeah, but this FLI for 5295. This is the FLI Microline 674 monochrome CCD. That chip's just damn. That chip is small, bro.
Yeah.
It is.
That chip is
I mean,
small.
11 millimeters is the size of my pinky nail.
That chip is small.
Mark is saying, be advised with the 6200, you'll need a flattener to handle the 54 millimeter connection. Okay.
A flattener?
Because it's a monster chip.
A
It's a big
flattener
chip.
or a tilter?
He said a flattener.
Why would you need a flattener?
I don't know.
I'm
He
confused
could be
on that one.
not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well, we're coming up on 2 hours and 15 minutes now. Eric, you make us run late, man. I'm telling you. You got to stop having dinner. Wade say, yeah, well, unfortunately, the 16803 was not on this gentleman's list. I have the 16200 from QHY, and I love it. I think this thing is awesome. If it just didn't take a day and a month to download the images, it'd be an awesome. It's an awesome camera. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, Mark, that's why you go to Precise Parts to get, you know,
I'm still confused on what he's talking
the right
about with the
adapter.
flattener for that. I'm still. Is it just me? Am I just like weird like that? I'm still confused on what he's trying to say. What if you're not using a refractor? If that's the type of flattener he's talking about. I'm a little bit at a loss on this. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's using that on a refractor. I think he's all SCT or
But-
Ritchie.
But why would you use a
RC.
flattener? I don't
I
understand.
don't know.
But Mark, maybe if you could like email us on that, that'd be great because I'm confused, Mark. But that's not too hard to do. I'm not lost. You're losing everybody here, bud. So, so um, that being said, I mean, so we got. Let's see. I think he's saying you need to make sure your connection to the scope is large enough. Yeah. Well, you got to
Oh
have
yeah,
the big enough image circle to
yeah.
cover the
Because like say
sensor.
like the red cat. The red cat has a big enough image circle to
It's got a
support a
43
full.
millimeter circle. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just depends on your scope. If your scope can support that full frame lens, I mean,
Yeah,
that full frame sensor, then I think you should be okay.
yeah. He's saying that it's only needed on the refractor. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we know. I love you, Mark, man. I just gave him a Picard palm face in this chat. So, but but so again, next week, this Wednesday, we got Warren Keller coming in to show us some stuff on Pix Insight and to introduce himself as his premiere introduction to AstroWorld. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Followed by the 10th, we have Henrik from Star Aid, who's going to be giving us a rundown on his semi-new product, the Star Aid, which is a standalone guider, which is kind of a pretty cool thing. It sounds like it, as long as it's better than the original Celestron standalone guider, if any of you remember that, which was a complete disaster. Um, and then following that, we have Amy Astro on the 17th. And she's going to come hanging out with us and talk about what she's up to. So it's going to be a lot of fun. After that, I think, and Eric, I don't know if you heard this on the show, I kind of said this before you jumped in. I think we're going to take that little hiatus
Yeah. I think we
from,
talked about this last week.
yeah, and then we'll come back the first Wednesday in January, and then we'll start year 3, season 3,
Yeah.
season
Season
3 of
We did that
Astroworld
last
TV. What's that?
We did that last year too. We did that last year too, if you recall.
We did.
We took a little hiatus of a couple weeks, during the holidays,
We
and
actually took
get a
2
little
hiatuses last
get
year.
a
We
little
took the
recharge. Yeah, we did.
Christmas, and then we took one in the summer because we were like, yo, we need to get our crap together. And let's just see what we do. And I think we had about 2 meetings, and that was it. I think that was it. We were just like, let's get back on the show.
Get back on that.
Yeah, so that's what we got coming on. I guess that was also the last question I have as well. So I guess we'll do a little Astroworld's final thoughts. And Eric,
No,
Scott,
I really don't have any. It's
Eric's
all
still
good. I mean,
digesting. So,
yeah, I mean, I think this was a great show. I was happy. Sorry I was late, but I'm happy I was hopped on, to give, my 2 bits as far as my 2 cents as far as some of these questions. And again, Dan, like I said, I think this for Fridays, I think this is a
yeah,
great forum for this for doing Q&A.
yeah. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
guys, help me out with some questions. Pull them off whatever Facebook group or Cloudy Nights or something, and grab 4 or 5 questions each, and then just
Deal.
send them to me, and I can put them on the screen. And then,
Deal. I'll do that.
know,
I'll even do some of that over the weekend.
yeah, just send me some questions, and it doesn't even have to be questions we use for next week. It's just we can pile them up.
Yeah, we can start piling stuff up. Yeah.
Yeah, you
All
got
right.
it,
Yeah.
Tarek,
Cool.
Papa Bear,
Yep.
Frank. Thank you, everybody,
Thank
for hanging out and watching.
Yeah.
Scott, final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna, like, we've had a couple of questions talking about stuff to buy, right? So do yourself a favor. Don't try to go it alone. Don't be an island, in that hunt. Send us questions. Say, I'm thinking about this, or I saw this on Cloudy Nights, and will this work? Let others help you to develop the rig that is going to work best for you. Trust me when I tell you, you'll be much happier.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you never know what you
And
got out there.
don't be afraid to buy used. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid just
Oh,
because.
absolutely not.
Yeah. At
Yeah.
least from reputable sources like Cloudy Nights and stuff like that. Yeah. So Cloudy Nights, in my experience, and I'm sure in your experience as well,
Yep.
um, it's pretty reputable. Um,
Yes.
just when you
A
do
lot of
that, I
people
would tell you,
they do things via PayPal, and
yeah,
you can have buyer protection
yeah,
and
get the
stuff like
buyer
that.
protection and all that because,
Yeah.
you know, I'm not saying that something's going to come back busted up, but it could happen. So
Hmm.
Yep.
just protect yourself. But most of the time, every time I've purchased from Cloudy Nights, I've never had a problem. And I've been purchasing stuff on that for 20 years. And I've not had an issue yet. Um, Ast- uh, some people like Astromart. Of course, Mark had to like dispute me because he likes doing that because he hates me.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's out there too.
yeah, Astromart works well.
Just as with Astromart, there is a cost
Yes,
with Astromart versus a
Cloudy
Cloudy
Nights.
Nights. As far as getting into the Astromart itself, I think it's like $15 a year.
Yeah, yeah. So there is like some sort of donation that you got to make to them. Cloudy Nights is
Yeah, and
not.
check your local. Also, check your local astro photography or your astronomy clubs,
Yep.
because a lot of times people are, they've got things they're upgrading. They're going to a different rig setup. They've got old stuff they want to offload. Usually, people that are a part of those clubs, they're meticulous about keeping their equipment in very good condition.
Yeah.
So you usually do pretty well doing that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So just keep an eye out. These day and age, you're gonna be buying a lot of used stuff, maybe only 20% off because of the supply that's not there anymore.
Yep.
So just be prepared to spend a little bit higher for a used product than you would normally. But other than that, you're usually going to get a decent product. So I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
that's not a big deal. And if anybody is interested in any of the lists of stuff that um, my friend is selling,
Yeah.
that long list that I rattled off, I already know somebody's interested in the Plus. I know somebody's interested in the EQ6R and the 2600. So
Yeah.
feel
And
free
we also
to,
have Pete Myers, with Woodland Hills. They get stuff used all the time. They had a couple of Takahashis just a couple months back.
yep,
Beautiful
was that
scopes.
the TOW 150s, I think it was?
They had a 100 and they had a 130. Both of them were going for between 4,500 to 5,000 each. But
Yeah.
they're Takahashis.
Yep. And you know what
You
I'll do? I'll throw the list of stuff. I've already gotten text messages. I'll throw the list of stuff on the AstroWorld page on Facebook. So go check it out. If you're in the AstroWorld group, you'll see it. So feel free to join that, and you'll see that. I'll throw that all up in a couple of minutes. Um, when did they start selling those stupid permits? They already started. So go get one. so go get one. I believe that permit is good till the end of March, and then you got to buy another one. So kind of sucks.
Another
Okay,
reason to move to Florida.
that's it. I'm not moving to Florida. Too humid. Can't take it. But
Oh
anyway,
boy.
we're at
All right,
10:30
guys.
almost. Everybody, have a good night. Stay safe. I'm gonna actually pull my telescope up in a little bit because I'm done imaging, I think, for tonight. Because the moon's out. I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, keep imaging, keep educating, and clear skies. And we'll see you on Wednesday night with Warren Keller.
Warren.
Warren Keller.
Warren Keller. It's going to be
It's gonna
fun.
be
So
awesome.
come and hang out with us. It's going to be a good show. Take care and have a good night. Bye bye.
Take care, guys.
Bye for now.
Yeah.